What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. It's Lineman Life Live on Monday. We are here, me and my co-host, Justin Blaylock.
Yes, sir.
And big weekend in the NFL. Big week. Week 6 was a big one now. Got some big matchups, some rematches, and we had some statement games. So we'll get to talking about that, get into the scores for week 6. Philadelphia, hey, still undefeated. The boys got manhandled, bro.
Oh, man.
It was, I guess that was the game that kind of, that was kind of the barometer, the measuring stick for how good is this, is what Cooper, what's his name? Cooper Rush?
Cooper Rush.
How good is Cooper Rush really when faced with
a top tier
defense? And we got our answer.
I mean,
so we'll talk.
They're gonna make a lot of people look bad.
Yeah, that's true. That defense is gonna ball on a lot of people. They ain't ball on my Jaguars like that though.
True.
Just saying. But it is a damn good defense, and they play good ball, and the Cowboys are one of their most bitter rivals. So, of course, you're going to have a much hyped engagement between those two teams, and it was an intense game. I will say that they played it. It was a lot of intense play.
The second half ended up being pretty decent.
Yeah.
Once Lane Johnson went out, I think he had a concussion. That really changed the attitude of the game. Really, I mean, we were able to get home with a lot more blitzing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's when you start seeing Micah Parsons put more of a imprint on the game, because he kind of was quiet a little bit in the first half.
Really was. But they were doing a lot of stuff that, he probably hadn't seen since college or high school even.
Yeah.
All that option shit, like reading him.
Yep. They started making him have to. Yeah, they started putting some reading things on his plate, because a lot of NFL defenses don't really have to read that read out. That read option is generally a give, or it's never going to be the quarterback running.
Yeah.
Usually,
that's the
unless you got
option.
Lamar Jackson in there.
Yeah, I don't really want to run this fucking ball.
Yeah, because they're not going to put the quarterback. They're not going to expose the quarterback to that kind of physical violence. They're going to tell him, you give it or you throw it. You don't run it. But we'll talk more about it as we get into the scores. But also, we've got some news in the league. Some things that came over the weekend, right before the weekend, in terms of news stories. We'll talk about DeShaun Watson. Apparently, he has another case. I'm not sure how that's going to affect him as far as the NFL is concerned, but we'll talk about it. We'll get into that here in a moment.
It's really not going to be good, but also,
you've already Alvin Kamara, and then you have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is getting sued for $10 million for his fight that he had the night before the Pro Bowl this year. And there's actually pictures of the guy that he beat up and his face after the fight, and it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty.
So he better look like Martin for $10 million.
Hey, that's what I'm about to say. He did kind of look like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns on the TV show.
$10 million, you gotta look like that. It can't be like,
oh man,
a little bit of bruising or nah.
And apparently, there's a video of this fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested. I would like to see it, but I'm sure. And as I breeze through here, I'm not seeing anything. Not really seeing where that fight influence come from. But this dude is a strong dude. Alvin Kamara is known for being one of those guys who has uncanny athletic ability because of the way he trains. And he can do damage, of course. He can do damage. So I'm not surprised that he blew old dude's face up.
Yeah.
But let's
they jumped him too.
Yeah, they jumped the dude, because the dude, I guess he was talking. Okay, so this is the irony of it. He's talking shit about Alvin Kamara's girlfriend, who is Dwight Howard's ex-fiance. Like, you over here running around with some sloppy seconds, and you mad because somebody talks shit about it.
Oh wow!
And I mean, I guess everybody is somebody's sloppy seconds, but
yeah,
I mean, that's when it's publicly out there, that's a little bit different. That gives people a little bit more. People are gonna take jabs at you for that.
It was a woman. You said Dwight Howard's ex.
It was Dwight Howard's ex-fiance. Oh, yeah. There's rumors about him too, but
so he got some rumors worth fighting over.
Hey, for real. I've heard about that. But players, Devontae Adams, another guy, physical altercation with a regular individual, with a photographer, credentialed photographer, or credentialed NFL worker, who's essentially just somebody working their day job, and he's looking at a hefty lawsuit as well. So everybody gets a lawsuit in the NFL right now. Apparently,
you get a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit.
You know what I mean? Like that's, hey, I feel like when you expose yourself like that, that's what they're gonna do.
Unless you run into Randy Johnson. You see he's doing freelance photography for the NFL.
Yeah, hey, that's dope to me though. That's really dope because
he might have knocked Devontae out.
And that cat, he got them hands. Everybody know that. There's video proof that Randy Johnson got them hands. Him and what's his name? Nolan Ryan. Them boys got hands. Don't run up on them. Don't you dare run up on them.
Yeah, if you can throw a ball 100 miles an hour, that means your hand is going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy though. Think about that. This is a guy who's a legendary pitcher. I mean, Hall of Fame, absolutely. And he's like, and he's not he sticks out like a sore thumb. The dude is like 6'7". You know what I mean? 6'7", 6'8", pitching. One of the best pitchers of his era. And now that he's done as a player, this cat is literally, his first love is photography. I mean, and I went to his website, and hell, let me pull it up because it is actually, let me see here.
Like he's actually nice with it.
It is actually a nice ass. He's actually nice with it. Let's see, Randy. Yeah, Randy Johnson. Oh. Look at this guy's website, dude. Like, real talk. I was like, geez. He's actually pretty damn good.
I mean, he should have the best views.
Look at this over everybody. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is dope right here,
Damn.
Like this African elephant.
He's not out here bullshitting.
He's not bullshitting, dude. This guy he's done some, I mean, look at this. Come on.
Oh, wow. So it'd be on like safaris and shit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Look, he's got the aperture, everything is right. Like it's professional. It definitely
that looks good. Damn.
I mean, this dude is whoo. I mean, and that's really like, I mean, that's a win. That's a life win right there. He's just chilling, taking pictures of shit. Yeah, nothing else.
Traveling the world. Got his camera and hanging out, going to sporting events and whenever he wants to.
I mean, that's hanging wild. Out with apes. Hanging out with fucking silverbacks. You know what I mean? Like, look at that.
Oh, wow. Good on you, Randy Johnson. Good for you.
Good on you. Good on you. Randy Johnson photography. I mean, hell. That's wild. Let me see if he got any NFL pictures up. Oh, wait. Let's travel. I mean, this is clearly Japan. I've been to Japan a few times.
That shit's dope.
Oh, shit.
So it goes to concerts, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. So is this Lamb of God? I don't know who they are. Oh, that's cool though. That's dope.
Seems to be into heavy metal type music.
I mean, live music. I mean, well, shit, Kiss. Damn, okay.
Kiss. I see Ozzy Osbourne.
Uh-huh. Ozzy, U2. Dude's got a little portfolio on him now.
John. I mean, been going to this shit for free as a
for, oh man. You know what I mean? I got credentials. But that's pretty dope, man. I mean, I honestly didn't. When I saw that that's what he was doing, like doing photography in the NFL, and that was his actual passion, that was what he liked to do, I was just like, I mean, it's cool because I like messing with cameras sometimes too, but I never would be a pro at it.
Right. Yeah, I just throw this baseball on the side. That was just a little fun thing I did.
Yeah.
To get me to the
just self-taught
camera equipment.
Self-taught,
Yeah.
Oh man, but that's good stuff there. So a lot of players dealing with a lot of stuff. Let's talk about this DeShaun Watson situation. I mean, what is there really to say about this at this point? I mean, here's an article that kind of gives us a little bit of info on it. Judge gives new DeShaun Watson plaintiff 24 hours to give names. So this is somebody who was filing anonymously, which look, man, I get why there's a little bit of hesitation for people to put their names out there in the public sphere when it comes to this type of stuff. But, the reality of it is that you need to, you're going to have to, it makes, I feel like it feels more palatable when you know who the people are that you're dealing with that people who the people are in a situation that you're putting out into the public discourse. You know what I mean? Like the DeShaun Watson versus XYZ is just kind of a different, it doesn't feel the same if you want people to be, empathetic about something. And I guess in this article, they're trying to get to the heart of that and saying you gotta put your name out there.
And I feel like it would be more personal if people think of you as a person, not just a case number.
A plaintiff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plaintiff
like you're just a plaintiff.
Well,
so we don't care. We're gonna dissect everything about you because you won't come out and show us who you are. It's hard to have empathy when you don't even, when it's just a number you're talking or a title.
Show them your face.
You want to see my face? Show us your face, brother. Man.
Yeah, at this point, it's just like I think you missed out on the money.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like you think you missed out on that little bit of a payday. It says here, Judge Rabia Sultan Collier ruled that the plaintiff. Let me make sure. Let me zoom in on this a little bit so those of y'all who like to read along can read along. Let's see here. The plaintiff who filed a civil suit ruled that the plaintiff who filed a civil suit against DeShaun Watson last week has 24 hours to amend her petition to include her name if she wants to go forward with the suit. The ruling was made Monday in an emergency hearing held on the 113th District Court in Harris County, Texas. That's Houston. Mm-hmm. During the hearing, Watson's lawyer, Rusty Hardin, asked the court to order counsel to provide the name of the plaintiff and sanctions for making us go through this.
You wasted my fucking time.
Damn. He's like, we gotta go through this shit again.
He's like,
come on.
Now look, I'm $1,000 an hour. We're not going to sit up here and bullshit with you.
For real.
Although I'm sure he gladly cashed that check too.
Let's see. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe is a 26th known civil case filed against Watson, accusing him of inappropriate sexual misconduct or sexual assault during massages. Previous lawsuits have been filed by attorney Tony Busby. Tony Busby is also, this guy here, is also the lawyer for the guy suing Alvin Kamara. He is. That's a fact. That's true. Which is wild, right? Like, so like now they've got.
He's a high-class ambulance chaser.
You know what I mean? This is the lawyer to sue athletes with. That's what he's become because of this situation. Hardin said during the hearing that his legal team compared the latest action to one of Busby's cases, saying, "You see in that red line that they simply copied Mr. Busby's pleading almost almost verbatim."
Right. Wow.
And the relevance to that is that Mr. Busby's case is one of the cases in which the court ordered him to replead and give us the name. There is no question that they would not know. There was no question they would not know they had to tell us the name. Harden's team spent 72 hours trying to get the name, he said, adding, and therefore we would like to ask for the name and we would like sanctions for making us go through this. So basically, I guess what that means with sanctions is that there should be a punishment or some kind of consequence for the plaintiff should this case get thrown out. That they should then be forced to
maybe she'll be on the hook for
pay lawyer fees.
Yeah,
you know
for the fees.
And I tell you what, them lawyer fees going up 5 times if he getting it from the other person.
I can guarantee you, DeShaun lawyer ain't cheap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That cat came off a couple mil to get these cases out of here.
And surely Busby is working. Whatever I win you, I get a cut. So he's probably not getting paid if he doesn't win anything.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip down a little bit here. I guess I'm eating candy corn because candy corn is fucking awesome. I love it. Waxy. Says the lawyer representing the latest plaintiff, Michelle Kornblith, said she would provide the defendant with her client's name, but didn't want to go public with it. We actually have no problem letting them know who our plaintiff is, but we would request either a confidentiality order or a protection order. We're already getting hate emails. How? How you already getting hate emails? That's what I don't understand. This to me is a line of shit right here. We're already getting hate emails and mail from the minute this was filed, and we're concerned for her safety. Like, nobody's hate emailing. Nobody's hate emailing you.
I thought she just said that it wasn't public.
You don't even know who the plaintiff is.
Yeah. Now, is the firm getting emails? That would, I guess, make sense. It's easy to find out, who's bringing the suit or the action. Yeah, they kind of losing me here. It's like, and she says here, and like I said, we have no problem telling him who the plaintiff is, so long as we know she'll be safe. Like, it's almost like a script that they use with that situation in particular. Like, how would you, the person who is filing a suit anonymously under a Jade No pseudonym, how would you, who would even think to just hit up your, who's going to do that though? I guess there is always somebody who would do some dumb shit, but it's just so convenient that you get hate emails the moment you file this suit. Like, somebody was waiting on the registry for the court docket. They were waiting for a lawsuit against DeShaun Watson to pop up. The moment that you that you filed it. Is it TMZ? I can't imagine anyone else like wasting time out of their day to go sit around and wait. Maybe I'll hear DeShaun Watson versus Jane Doe on the docket today. Like, who else is doing that?
And that was all the new information on that article. The rest of it is just a rehash of everything that we've already known. But
it sounds like they just copy and paste everything.
Yeah, this is and they copy and pasted the majority of their suit that was used from the previous 20 some odd lawsuits.
It's like, oh hey, we forgot somebody.
They found the file in the back of the Barkley filing cabinet in the basement. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, she could have got lost in
No wonder this lady's been calling us.
Never heard of you before, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think about this one in particular. I feel like if you weren't able to, look, and this is not me assuming necessarily that any of these women were in this just for the money. But if you were looking for a payday and you felt you got wronged in any way, shape, or form by this cat, you had 2 years to jump in this lawsuit. There was 25 women already in it. So what the fuck are you doing filing now, almost, 6 months later?
Yeah.
After it ended? After the 2-year saga ended? Now you want to file? Come on. And that's where I feel what his lawyer is saying. Like, look, if this is some bullshit, you need to be held accountable because we ain't trying to go through this again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
we already did this shit.
We already did this shit. We've already been here. We're not trying to deal with this again. So I'm sure we'll be updated as to what happens and how things play out with DeShaun Watson in this new court case. I'm sure we'll find out either who this person is or we'll find out, whether or not this has been, kind of a, just kind of whether it's a charade or what. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
Jury's
out. Let's get into these scores.
Oh, fuck.
Week 6 in the NFL. My God.
Whew.
Woo!
Lord, I don't think
I'm just sitting here looking at the very first score on the damn thing, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm starting to get queasy.
This is bad.
So Jacksonville started off. Jaguars blow it. Giving up they gave up a home run, walk-off, touchdown on 3rd and 13 to give the Colts the win. You're winning the game. What are you doing? Now, look, Jags are now 2-4, 1-3 for away games. They're not playing very well away. Colts are now 3-2. How the Colts did we shut out? We shut out the Colts in week 1. 24-0. And we give up 34 on a late, and we give up the game on a late. Look, your boy balled.
Yeah, Matt went crazy.
Matt Ryan.
I think
Matt Ryan, 42 for 58, 389 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Damn, there's 60 throws. That's not sustainable.
That's not sustainable at all.
But every once in a while, though, he can pull one of those off. Yeah, he went ham. But that offense had been looking really, really poor the last few weeks. So I'm kind of this kind of came out of nowhere.
The O-line protected.
Also that
they protected well this game. He didn't get sacked at all.
Shit.
He didn't get sacked at all. He had a QBR of 82 and a QB rating, a passer rating of 107. But also on the flip side of that, Trevor Lawrence actually had a pretty damn good game.
27's fair, nowadays.
27. That's above average.
That's not going to win every week, but most weeks it should win.
You'll have a winning record with that if you score 27 a game.
Oh yeah.
But Trevor Lawrence went 20 for 22. Dude had a ridiculous completion percentage.
Oh wow.
But only 165 yards and 1 touchdown.
Check down Charlie.
Check down Charlie. Check down Charlie.
Hey,
sacked 4 times, but he did have a QBR of 63 and a passer rating of 113. So he actually had a higher passer rating, and he had a rushing touchdown. So, man,
I need to figure out that math. So he had a higher passer rating, but lower QBR.
Yeah.
Than Matt. Yeah, that stuff's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what's the difference between QBR and the rating, but I thought those were the same rating. But they changed them over the last maybe 6 or 7 years. It changed or something like that. I don't know.
It must have. Well, I think the QBR might be new because that's the one that's out of 100.
Yeah, the QBR is new.
That one's newer.
But the QBR used to just be the quarterback. The quarterback rating was their passer rating. That was the QBR.
Yeah. 158. 0.3 or whatever thing that.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you come up with this?
Yeah. No, it's
you made it up. Why would you choose these weird ass numbers?
And it's like, how do you calculate this? Like, what means what? But Colts win it. Colts, look, I said it when we did our predictions on Wednesday. I said, Jaguars, it's hard for us to win in Indianapolis. It's almost like this. It's almost the same as them coming to Jacksonville. So I picked Jacksonville, but I also knew in my heart it would have to play a really good game. And they played a good game, but they just, they gave up 34 points. And they gave up basically a Hail Mary at the end of the game to give them the win. So, hey, can't get mad at that. Next game up, man, what the hell's going on with this New England Colts whooping up on everybody? I told y'all.
Damn, I think
I won't front. I predicted. I'm pretty sure I predicted the Browns with you guys. But this was a fucking shellacking.
Yeah, that's anything over three scores.
Zappy.
That's really tough.
Zappy.
You just don't beat people that badly.
No, you don't. 3-score losses is not natural in the NFL.
Like college, okay, you get a couple a year, but
in college, the first probably the first 4 games, ridiculous blowouts.
Yeah, because you play in all them directional schools and shit.
Yep.
Ain't no directional schools in the NFL.
Oh hell no.
Cleveland and Carolina.
But this is what I was saying about fucking Jacoby Brissett. You can't trust Jacoby Brissett to hold your team up. Not even for a short period of time. Because when he was in Indy, they gave that boy like $55 million just for like 2 years. Because they were like, we ain't got no quarterback. We really don't have any options. Jacoby played well in like 3 or 4 games the previous season, and he was their best option. And they gave him, they're like, look, you're really a stopgap until we find a first round quarterback. Hey, but we'll give you $50 million for the next.
I could be that mistake. Years. Please let me be that mistake.
Let me be that guy.
I don't give a fuck. We'll go out there and lose every week.
That guy. You know what I mean?
I'll get sacked 5 times a game. $50 million? All right.
You know what I mean? I'll take the lumps and I won't complain. But he's, he is not necessarily, he had a pretty bad game. He went 21 for 45, 266 yards, 5.9 average per pass, which is pretty low for a quarterback. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked 4 times. QBR of 18.6 and a passer rating of 54.5. Now, Bailey Zappi, on the other hand, my guy we're seeing improvements in this cat. This is against a good defense. This is a Cleveland defense that has, one of the best deep cornerbacks in the league on it. Bailey Zappi went 24 for 34. He went 24 for 34, 309 yards, 9.1 per pass, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked twice. QBR 56, passer rating 118. He showed out. The kid showed out.
He threw for all sorts of records in college, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't know. Where did he go to college at?
I think he's Western Kentucky.
Was he drafted?
I don't know that.
Yeah, he probably wasn't drafted, or a late round draft pick.
Yeah, just took.
If you know in the chat, if you know in the chat, let us know. Did Bailey Zappi get drafted, or was he a free agent, undrafted free agent?
Either way, I mean, that's a hell of a game. If you can string a couple of those together, I mean,
oh yeah.
Obviously, they're going to go back to Mac Jones as soon as he's, ready.
Oh yeah.
But that'll keep.
That might be a while. He might still be gone for a minute.
Right.
He was drafted. Okay, they're saying he was drafted by the Patriots.
Okay, well, he must be a Patriot type guy then. But yeah, a game like that.
I mean, to start passing like that within a few games of being a starter.
Right.
Let's say he's a 4th round pick. Okay, 4th round is this has always been my philosophy on football players in general, like when you're from being a college player to an NFL player. From the first round is the first round actually holds a very low success rate in players and how their careers pan out and whether they're going to be, legendary players or, highly valued players. It varies. It is most versatile in the first round because a lot of those players in the first round have actually reached their peak as football players already. And the way that you find success in the NFL, a lot of times, if you look at the players who are most successful, not just like from a statistical standpoint, but just from longevity or just from consistency as a player, a lot of those guys come like after the first round, like after even the third round. A lot of the times you find it between the third and like the sixth round is where you find guys who have the highest ceilings to play. And those guys are players who were good in college, were good enough to be a draft-worthy NFL player, but they're still very raw, still mostly raw. And in the NFL, granted you're able to get around a good coach, you actually get re-educated in football. So you actually are now you retaught how to really play football the right way.
Right.
Because in college you see a lot of talent leading guys, but they're not playing right. They're not blocking right. They're not running the routes right. The quarterbacks are late all the time throwing the ball. It's evident, especially with, being a pro and having been a pro and played a long time and been a starter my entire career. You see that. Like I watched when we played against when Purdue played against Penn State to start the season, and Purdue would have won that game if the quarterback knew how to throw the fucking ball on time. He had a wide open for a touchdown with a couple minutes left to make it like to make it a 2-score game. He had a wide open and this was on 4th down, wide open to the end zone. They're in the red zone at the time, so you take that risk. This dude is wide open. Their cornerback, the defensive back, bit on the out and up. He bit, like ridiculously hard. He ran full speed at it, and the receiver, went into his out and up and was free, untouched. And he threw this ball almost an entire 2 count late. He was looking at this receiver, and he threw it so late the receiver had to stop and wait for it. And that allowed the DB to catch back up and knock the ball down. There's in the NFL, they will cut you for that.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Awful.
And
this is a guy they were saying
was
was
a kid to have that type of, that trust and faith that the guy's going to be there.
The guy's going to be there.
They want to see the guy open.
They want to see him open rather than know that he's going to be open.
Nah, you just got to put it where he's going to be and let him do the rest.
But this is the thing, right? That quarterback is talented.
But yeah,
but he's not. But he doesn't know how to play the game right.
Right. You can be taught those things.
His ceiling can be raised because he can be taught all of these nuances that will make him a better quarterback. A lot of times with like the first round quarterbacks or the top pick quarterbacks, scouts think they already see that in those guys. And it's not true with those guys either. They're not on the point with it like that either, but they have something that, generally separates them from the rest of the pack. But a lot of times, and more often than not, the guys in the middle of the pack rise past the guys who were started at the top because they have made it to the same level with not as much of the polished talent that this top-ranked player has. So that top-ranked player is not going to keep getting that much better. He's going to stay in that same area of play that he's come in at as a player. But these guys who are in the middle of the pack, the better they get, the more they can use that talent, the natural abilities that they didn't use to execute techniques before. Now they're using that, and it makes them better and better, and they become better than the top guys at the top.
Yeah.
And so when I see a guy like Bailey Zappi having that kind of game, only a couple of weeks in to be, well, I wouldn't say a couple of weeks. Well, yeah, a couple of weeks in to being the starter.
Yeah, a couple of weeks to start.
Max Jones. Yeah.
He'd have been running this damn scout team before this.
Exactly, right? He's been running the scout team. This is going to set up a very interesting problem in the future for New England, because if this guy can play at that level, and if he can show any consistency at this while Mac Jones is gone and they get some more wins, then it's going to be the pressure will be on Mac Jones to be that quarterback that he was supposed to be, that they're seeing out of Bailey Zappi. And
it's not going to be like the Cowboys, because Mac Jones is on that rookie contract, so they're not tied to him for like a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
it's good money, but not to the point where you're like, I gotta play.
We can't get rid of him.
Yeah. So it could get interesting if he keeps playing. I mean, hell, it's been 2 games, and one of them wasn't that good. But I mean, if you see a flash,
he went up against a top-rated defense now.
Yeah, this is true. So I mean, there's obviously something there, and I mean, he's in the right place to. I mean, they're going to get whatever is in there. Belichick's going to extract it.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, Belichick ain't got no. That motherfucker ain't loyal to nobody.
Yeah, he has showed. The organization has shown they're going to get rid of you 2 years early instead of a year late.
Mm-hmm. They sure will. And I feel like this franchise wouldn't hesitate if it was a decision to be made and this cat Bailey Zappi continues to play well and they feel good about him. I feel like they wouldn't hesitate to either bench or trade Mac Jones. They really wouldn't hesitate. They'd do it quick. I feel like, because what they're looking for in Mac Jones, Bailey just showed them in one game. That's what they've been looking for in Mac Jones the whole time. And they didn't change the offense. They might have even simplified it.
Right.
To go up against a top-tier defense and have that kind of a game, I mean, that's something you got to keep an eye on. 10 incompletions. So we'll see how that plays out. Kansas City losing to Buffalo. Now, this one, I must admit, I didn't catch the end of this game, but I did hear that that was on Patrick Mahomes, which breaks my fucking heart because my fantasy team needed your points.
Oh, man. Yeah, I turned this one off as well. Not because it wasn't good or anything. But I mean,
I was just I was tired. I didn't really, I didn't catch it.
After 6 hours of red zone,
you know what I mean?
Just need a fucking break. And I knew the Cowboys game was coming on later that night, so I wanted to be ready.
Okay, let me see. Was it? I thought that they said this cat threw a pick here. Let me see.
Something happened.
He threw 2 picks. God damn, Patrick, 2 picks. My guy ain't never done no shit like that. Josh Allen went 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked once, 60 QBR. I mean, he was. Let me see here. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes, their fucking numbers are almost identical.
Similar games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 4-point game. So
2 interceptions.
Let's see here. Oh, he threw a pick at the end.
Josh Allen, 27 for 40, 329. Patrick Mahomes, 25 for 40, 338. So literally the same. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks for Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, no picks for Josh Allen. I think, I believe in the Bills. I do. I believe in the Bills. I believe in the Chiefs too. These are 2 teams that will. I mean, if you're going to make it to the Super Bowl, if you're going to make it to the any deep in the playoffs, you're going to have to beat one of them. You're going to have to beat these teams because they're the only teams. They're the teams you're either going to have to go through one of these 2 teams to get to the Super Bowl.
They'll say the road to AFC Championship is going to go through Orchard Park. Looks like. Golly,
and
no one wants to play up there in fucking January. Even them.
Hell no, dude. They don't. They want to go. You know what I mean? Like, this was a good game though. From most of what I watched, it was kind of the same game that you saw in the playoffs last year. A lot of back and forth, a lot of offensive firepower, a lot of big plays being made, whether on the offensive or defensive side. I mean, and it felt it looked like they kind of treated it as that kind of game. And just a lot of good plays. And Josh Allen makes it so difficult to defend him because, you know, he uses his mobility to bait in defenses. Like he'll actually scramble to bait a defense in so that he can throw the ball. He's not even planning on actually running. He's just baiting you. And defense has got to respect it. And he's killing them with it.
Yeah, that's a
Monday Night
kid,
Football
man.
score update. Broncos 3, Chargers 0. Broncos country. That's right.
Oh, Justin Herbert just got folded like an accordion.
Oh, man. His O-line is getting him killed. But let's keep going here. That game's actually going on right now. 3-0's the score right now. But how about these goddamn New York Jets?
Hey. People wanted to make fun when Robert Saleh said he was keeping receipts.
He was keeping receipts.
He out here.
I mean, hold on now. These mother cluckers
The
went into
motherfucker looks
Lambeau
like the
Field.
real deal.
You know what I mean? They went into Lambeau. This wasn't no international game.
Right? Like
They went into Lambeau Field and beat that ass.
And put the cheese head on.
And put the cheese head on to end it.
So, fuck
You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Put the cheese head on. Where's I got a picture here on oh my God, the Jets are 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, they're
The Jets.
yeah, not many people saw this one coming. Even the staunchest Jets fans wouldn't have called it.
I mean, Tom Grossi, who was a huge Green Bay fan. Tom Grossi, massive Green Bay fan.
Oh,
He has, podcasts on Green Bay every day. He's a super fan through and through. He had to have just vomited everywhere when he was watching this game. Because, it wasn't even close. These cats only scored 10 points. I said myself that the biggest problem with Green Bay is they don't got no receiving core. So it's hard for it to matter that Aaron Rodgers is there. And Aaron Rodgers ain't look very good either.
I mean, you can't look too great with scoring 10 points. And when do you start rocking this the Karen haircut? Although,
yeah, he's doing some bullshit. Let me see, man. What is, man? You know what, man? I used to really like Aaron Rodgers. Now he just kind of pissed me off. He's just a contrarian for contrarian's sake, and it's kind of annoying. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
Here goes Sauce Gardner.
Talk your shit.
Fuck your house, nigga.
Wow.
You know them Green Bay fans.
Right.
Great feeling, man. Great feeling.
Hey, next time they go up there, well, shit, he'll probably be an all-pro by then.
For real.
Ain't like the Jets go to Lambeau that much. But they're going to be coming for his ass.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to forget that.
Hey,
they're not going to forget
sweep.
that.
All the linemen pull, hit this motherfucker.
Going after number 1.
I don't give a fuck if you guys don't block anybody else. Knock this bitch out.
Congrats to the damn Jets because, honestly.
Yeah.
I ain't see that happening.
I really didn't.
not only did y'all beat them, y'all whooped their ass.
Yeah. It looks like they got like a couple good running backs. Brees Hall, I think. Big 12 guy. I think Michael Carter's the other one.
Shit.
A couple receivers that are doing nice things. The motherfucker out there slinging it around.
He ain't do shit this game, though.
Oh, I see.
He ain't do nothing. In his pass game was, and look, to me, I like his, I kind of like his style with running. He's a runner to a certain extent, but this is the thing. This cat was 10 for 18, 110 yards.
Oh, wow.
Sacked twice, QBR of 30, and a passer rating of 73. He ain't do nothing.
Ooh, okay. He just out there for the ride.
He was just out there. His running back, Breece Hall, 20 carries, 116 yards, 5.8 a carry, 34 long, 1 touchdown.
I'll get it done.
Braxton Berrios, 1 carry for 20 yards, touchdown, 20-yard long. Michael Carter, 6 carries, 41 yards, 6.8 a carry, 25-yard long. They ran the ball 33 times, which is why they won.
Shit.
A team like the New York Jets runs the ball 33 times for 179 yards, 5.4 carry, 2 touchdowns with a 34, and that wins the game. Now, of course, they likely, let me see, they had to have scored on defense or
special teams or something.
Nope. You got touchdowns on defense.
Okay.
You had a touchdown on defense from Will Parks, which was probably, I think that may have been I'm not sure what that was, how that played out. Let me see. But that's 3 scores right there. 2 from your running backs, 1 from your defense. And the Packers, Aaron Rodgers was 26 for 41, 246 yards, 6.6 yards of a pass, 1 touchdown. Sacked 4 times, QBR of 16, rating of 88. Jordan Love came in the game.
Damn. I think Aaron might got nicked.
Oh, okay. But
also,
not a good game at all.
It doesn't sound like he was playing that great, so maybe it was a combination.
He wasn't doing great anyway. But shit, kudos to the Jets. Kudos to the Jets pulling that one out.
Yeah, both the New York teams looking solid.
Bengals beat New Orleans 30-26. 2 teams that are kind of ho-hum right now. Nobody give a fuck.
Bengals need to come back alive, man.
Yeah, Bengals are kind of dead right now. Their O-line not producing like they're supposed to. Losing, they lost. They just had an ugly start to the season, so they'll catch back on, hopefully.
Yeah, they're too talented not to.
Another big game, huge game. Baltimore at New York. I'll tell you what. Giants are legit. We got to stop hating on them. They have now gone up. They are 5-1. You realize this is one of the best records in the NFL. I would argue they're probably it's the Bills,
Eagles, Vikings,
the Giants, and the Vikings are the only 5-win teams in the NFL.
Yeah. You say the Chiefs? Oh, no.
No. The Bills.
Sorry.
The Bills.
Yeah.
What the hell? Whoa, what is
that? There ain't many of them.
Yeah. It's like there's only 3 teams in the NFL with 5 wins, and they're one of them. And they had their biggest test of the season against Baltimore, and they passed that test. They passed that test through willpower. They out-willed Lamar Jackson and his team. So looking at some of the stats here. Wow, this was not a good game for Lamar Jackson. 17 for 32, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 2 sacks. 58 QBR, 71 passer rating. Daniel Jones, 19 for 27, 173 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Those are the stats of a game manager, which, hey, I'd rather be a game manager than a bust. Because he was looking like he might have been on his way to a bust. But
yeah, now they're talking about give him some money.
Yeah. Because, the dude has managed these games well. He hasn't blown it for him. He has a 68 QBR and 112 passer rating. So he actually he passed with accuracy, and he scored points
Oh, Broncos just scored a touchdown.
Oh, okay. Broncos up.
10-0.
Broncos hit. But
can't go losing these if you're saying LA.
Oh, no. Of course.
They look legit. Good defense too.
Everything with the Giants. Everything with the Giants begins with Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, look, this is what you call, and this again is another example of how the run game is essential to winning in the NFL. It doesn't matter how many passes you make. When the defense ain't got to worry about you running, you're not going to pass all day. And if you look at the difference here between, if you look at what the Giants did, we already know that the Ravens are going to run the ball. They're going to run it as well, but they run it in a different kind of way. Saquon is a traditional, 30 carry running back.
Now they do some tricky shit. You know, he'll get in the Wildcat. I saw one
they
play.
Do.
He got in the Wild. They shifted over, put Daniel Jones right next to him. He's in the Wildcat. Hands it to Daniel Jones. Or no. Yeah, hands it to Daniel Jones. He tosses it to another guy. And so they're doing some unusual shit.
They're doing some Wildcat.
He's downhill between the tackles. And I'm so happy to see him, you know, getting back.
Oh, man, I'm loving seeing Saquon back in this.
Because this is what we thought we were getting, you know, out of Penn State. It was just going to be like, you know, Giants are back.
And he has great vision. He has great vision as a runner.
He's starting to catch the ball pretty well, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, the more you can do,
look,
it's going to be impossible to stop.
These are his stats. And look, this is one of the reasons why statistics ain't everything. They only mean so much. But there is you can infer a message behind the stats that actually probably gives much more context to why to the person's value to the team. Saquon Barkley had 22 carries. How many running backs in the NFL in week 6 had 22 carries? I'm willing to bet money there wasn't more than one other running back who had 20 plus carries in a game.
Not nowadays with everybody splitting carries and everyone being so pass happy.
Yeah. Saquon had 22 carries for 83 yards, 3.8 a carry, 1 touchdown with a long of 8 yards. The only number that matters in this game as far as his performance was 22 carries. Because that forced the defense to stay honest. That forced the defense to play in run-stopping personnel. Because if you come out in a nickel against Saquon Barkley,
you're done.
You're done. He's going to average 7 a carry.
They're going to find that extra DB and make him tackle Saquon every play. And nobody wants to, what Marshawn say? Get their fucking face run through over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, especially a fucking nickelback. This guy's not in here to tackle. He's here to cover.
Yeah. So this is why this number, it's the carries that show you the value of Saquon Barkley. It doesn't matter that you're stopping him almost every play. You better. If you don't, he's going to get off. He is going to get off. And if he gets in, look, I'll be honest. There's not a lot of running backs in the NFL that can break 60-yarders anymore, 60, 70-yarders and leave a defense. There's not a lot. Saquon is one of those who can. So if you don't, and this is post losing the ACL, you know what I mean? Like, this dude is there's Saquon, who, he looks a little bit faster and more athletic now than he did last year, coming back from the injury. But he hasn't necessarily gotten back all of his speed. You can tell he's almost able to kick it into that last gear. Not quite yet, but he's actually better, I feel like, moving laterally in his run game. He's more patient. The play that he used to seal the game, that sealed it for New York over Baltimore, the dude's vision was uncanny. He actually should have been tackled for a 3-yard loss. he was able to make his blocker right and keep his O-lineman on a block that was penetrating into the backfield. And then he bounced it back to his right side and was able to get the ball and take a knee at the 1 yard line to end the game. And that is
headsy play right there too. Really headsy play.
That's IQ play, because we've seen running backs fuck that up and actually going for the score. But the Giants are real deal, and I feel like that there shouldn't really be much more in way of doubting that these guys are going to be contending for their division, because they're one game behind. They're 1.5 games behind Philadelphia in the division, because they have only played one division game instead of two. And they're 1 game behind in overall record. But these guys have played tough opponents now, and they've beat 2 tough opponents in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's Green Bay and
they beat Green Bay last week. They beat Baltimore this week. Nobody. And I mean, we can all. That's why it's so fun to enjoy and actually celebrate that the Giants are back to relevance, because nobody at the beginning of the season, if you looked at this 2-game span, there's not one person who'd say New York's winning any one of those games.
Right.
There's not one person. And if you say you would have said yes, if you're a New York fan and you say that before this season started, you thought that the Giants were going to beat Baltimore and Green Bay in back-to-back weeks, you're lying. And we don't believe you, because there was no one on this planet who would have picked them.
Maybe John Mara. That's it.
You know what I mean? So it's not even a matter of, we saw this coming. Did nobody see this coming? Nobody saw this coming, but it's a pleasant surprise to have. To see a team that looked like they were just a rotting carcass in the world of the NFL, roadkill on the shoulder of the highway, withering away. Like, nobody saw this coming, and now here they are. These boys are actually out here providing us with great games, and they're showing the growth that they have as a franchise. Their head coach is a big part of that. That cat has got them energized. He has them believing that they can win. And they're winning. They're not the most talented offense, but they've got an integral piece at running back who is one of the most talented players in the league. And then you have a quarterback who is maturing enough to make himself an asset rather than a liability.
Only took 5 years.
It only took 5 years, and the threat of being a fucking bust for 3 of the 5. But
imagine when they go out and get some better receivers.
Imagine them having a receiver who can be a deep threat, and a receiver who can challenge the middle of the field as a slot threat. Those 2 pieces right there can make your offense. I mean, we see it with the LA Rams, even though they're not really winning right now. You see it in the threat that Cooper Kupp is. Cooper Kupp is such a threat because you have talent on the outside, which I don't know why they don't
not using him either.
Allen Robinson. They don't pass the ball to Allen Robinson at all. But he is a deep threat. He is a sideline threat. And Cooper Kupp complements that by being a middle of the field threat that it's hard to cover. You can't cover him in the middle of the field. So, if the Giants get a hold of any kind of player like that on their offense, that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So, just good shit from the Giants. Kudos to them. I love what I'm seeing. They're back to being relevant, and that's a good thing for the NFL. Of course, we all agree that the fucking Bucs are going to beat the Steelers, and they go out and fuck it off. Steelers win 20-18. I mean, I guess with
the ghost of Mitchell Trubisky too.
Yeah, with the ghost of Mitchell Trubisky. It was Pickett who was the quarterback in this one.
Yeah, he got knocked out sometime in the middle of the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, this was I'm willing to make the argument without having seen one play from that game and only seeing one clip of Tom Brady screaming at his offensive line. I'm willing to make the assumption that this was more about the Bucs beating themselves than the Steelers beating the Bucs. Because I just can't, for the life of me, explain how that defense they have out there, which, in all honesty, the fact that they only gave up 20 points to the Steelers on a league-wide comparison, that would be a solid effort from a defense to keep an offense to just 20 points. That's a solid effort. But the fact that the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still have a loaded offense, were unable to score more than 2 touchdowns.
And I think Minka was out. I think they had a couple corners out.
Minka Fitzpatrick didn't even play this game. Yeah.
Obviously, TJ Watt's out.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a deep. This is not the Steelers defense that
no
holds you to 20 points. You know what I mean? This isn't that version. But they were able to do it.
I don't know if Tom was hitting the yak at that wedding or what he was doing.
And that's another thing. Now, Tom Brady, quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the night before the game.
No, this was Friday. Friday night.
Oh, Friday. Okay, Friday night. Still, right before the game, 48 hours before a game, he is at the owner of the New England Patriots, his former team. He is at the wedding of their quarterback. Now, here is a video of Tom Brady ripping his offensive line. And I am not, look.
It's kind of this thing.
And yes, this is something that Tom Brady has done in the past. But I will just say that offensive linemen don't get mad at this because we don't necessarily, we understand what our job is. We are here mainly to protect this guy. And I think what's important to see here is that he's not ripping them. What I would say there is just like from watching it is that this is not a ripping necessarily. This is just a pep talk.
Yeah, I'm told he's actually fairly encouraging.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he will. More of a pep talk. Obviously, he will get in people's face.
I think he rips his wideouts and his wideouts for dropping passes. That's what probably he rips him the most for. But O-line, I mean, look, you got to think about this offensive line. And he has to. I know he understands this as well. That O-line is beat to hell.
Yeah, they're missing 3 guys in the middle.
And that's enough to make your pass protection entirely different.
And I mean, and historically, that's how Tom likes to be protected from the inside out. Have good guard center guard so he can step up.
Yeah, because that's
tackles have always been just guys for him.
Yeah, tackles are guys who they only really expect the tackles to run the DB or run the DNs past Brady because Brady's thing is to step up and release. Like that's really a lot of his best passes. That's how they play out. He drops back. He doesn't just drop back, stop and throw. He drops back. He actually steps forward, shuffles into his pocket, and releases off that front leg. And that's where that's why his pass. I mean, for a long time it never really seemed like he was losing any velocity on his passes, and I think that has a lot to do with it. In that he does prefer to step into his throws more than just throw off that that flat stance. And when he steps into the pocket, it just looks like he's about to throw a touchdown. You just know. You're like, oh shit.
And I used to always get that feeling with Drew Brees.
Yeah. If he's stepping up, he's extra confident.
He starts looking at the bottom of his face mask. I'm like, God damn it. He's about to throw another bomb. Every time. Fucker is. Ugh. Can't do anything to stop him.
But, look, let me take a look at these stats from that game. I'm actually interested to see what the stats were. Chargers scored?
Yeah, Eckler. If anybody has him on the fantasy team.
I mean, Brady only got sacked twice. 25 for 40. One
Could have been
touchdown.
getting hit.
Yeah, could have took a lot of hits.
I'm pretty sure them hits hit different at 45.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you know it. You know it. All right, but just not it's just not a game that I think anybody expected them to really drop. And they just dropped it. Especially
surely no one other than Mike Tomlin really believed this one.
Mm-hmm. But boy, Tampa's still at the top of their division. Tied with overall record, tied with Atlanta. But
oof. I'm thinking 3 teams come out of the East.
Well, the NFC East?
Yeah.
Could be.
We might get both of the wild cards, man. The way everybody's
because one division might not have a wild card coming out of it.
I anticipate Green Bay getting better, right in the ship. But I don't think anybody in the South is going to – the Falcons could fuck around and be around 500. But, I don't see anyone else.
But maybe division winner automatic.
Oh, yeah. There's always going to be one. I'm just saying that no one's going to get the wild card in the South for sure. Maybe one of the teams in the West gets it if the Rams can right the ship a little bit, but they just lost a tackle for the year, and protection's already been a big issue for them.
Shaky. Yep.
So to lose your left tackle on top of that ain't gonna help.
Yeah, doesn't look.
Shopping the running back, trying to get rid of Cam Akers. So there must be some internal issues there.
Yep.
So that doesn't bode well, but midseason especially.
Oh no. Let's see here. Minnesota gets the win over Miami. Miami is, look, this is we all kind of knew. Free falling.
To be expected.
Hey man, yeah. We kind of hoped that they would be able to kind of keep the ship steady. When Tua went out, and look, and this is concerning to me, is that Tua is apparently going to start this week's game. I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that.
This is what
are we saying? 2 weeks
out?
now?
2 weeks
3
out.
weeks out? Yeah, 2 weeks out. You're right. Two weeks out from his second concussion over a 5-day period. Can you imagine? Can you even imagine?
Lord, please don't let
if
this man.
Tua gets a third concussion in 1 month, his career will be over. Come on. I'm scared for this kid, to be honest, because these motherfuckers do not give a shit about him. They don't care. Everybody is just trying to find a way to get him to play. They're saying, Tua has his own team of doctors that took a look at him as well, and he's been cleared. Look. All I'm saying is 3 concussions in 1 month means you're done playing football forever.
Should. I'm sure someone will find a way to.
You can't play this game if you get another concussion. No more, bro. You're teetering on brain damage as we are speaking.
You're clearly not made for this game because you're not going to stop getting hit.
You're not going to stop getting hit, bro. And you're going to get slung on the ground or pushed right after a throw. And there's going to be a chance for you to hit your head again. You can guarantee it. I don't know what the hell is going on in Miami, but when this shit is, I don't want this to happen. I am hoping it doesn't. But just on the timetable, from the timetable standpoint, how the fuck are you going to put him back out there without at least giving him a month? At least a month. 4 games. At least give him a month, maybe 6 games, to just say, you know what? We've given his brain enough time. We think, even if he was cleared 3 weeks prior, you let him sit another 3. You you let him sit 6 weeks, and you say, we did everything we could to allow him the time to recover.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we did more than
even knowing we actually cleared him 3 weeks ago, but we said no, we're going to give you even more time, 3 more games. And we don't care what the fuck our record is. We know that you not being out there means we're going to have a harder time winning. But we want to have you. We want to still be able to.
I'd rather have you for the rest of the season after that.
I'd rather have you for 8 more years and not have to deal with no other shit than try and save myself 3 games to try.
That's the scary thing, though. Like he might take 10 weeks off, and that might not be enough. We don't know.
Exactly, you're true. That's right. You might
take 10 weeks off. You could shut him down for the year, and day 1 of training camp next year gets hit.
Boom, he get a concussion and he's done. True, but
at least give yourself the best opportunity.
The only thing that can heal his brain is time. And he may not be able to take the same kind of hits, but he may be able to take a hit that he wasn't able to take a month after having a concussion.
So we need Elon Musk on this.
Oh God. Elon, what do you think, Elon? Elon, help us.
How do motherfuckers not get concussions, man? And still run into each other head first.
You know what I mean? Like
crazy. Rams. So, what do Rams do? Actual Rams, not LA Rams.
I mean, they bust heads against each other, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And they had the big curly horns, and they just
the curly, yeah.
I mean, I don't mean,
and it sound like somebody hit the side of a car with a baseball bat.
Yeah. It's aggressive. Now, maybe they don't have brains like we do. Obviously, I know they have brains that take up as much of their skull as ours, perhaps.
For real, if they can do all that brain must be hella small and must not move at all in that head.
Right, they got damn styrofoam in that bitch. It ain't fluid. It's some kind of gel.
All right, so Vikings beat Miami 24-16. Vikings, another team, 5-1. This is a team that is playing good ball.
Yeah,
they are playing good ball, and you know what? A lot of that good ball is predicated off of with the Vikings. A good running game.
Yeah, he's. I know he had a couple of games where his shoulder was a little iffy, but he's looking really good.
Yeah,
and the white Dak Prescott has been doing just enough.
Kirk Cousins,
as usual.
2 touchdowns, no picks in this game. Teddy Bridgewater actually didn't have a terrible game he had a good game outside of 2 interceptions. That's the thing with Teddy Bridgewater that's kept him from being able to kind of ascend. Now, obviously, Minnesota is where he started. He was supposed to be a generational talent coming out, Teddy Bridgewater, and he actually was doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, I think he went to a Pro Bowl or 2, and then he had that.
And then he got
awful fucking injury. Well, he had that, and he had the knee.
He blew his knee out. But then when he came back from blowing his knee out, he got a super concussion. And from that moment, and that changed him. From that moment on, anytime you touch Teddy Bridgewater, he unconscious.
Damn. I do hold my breath anytime. When people get near him, I hold my breath. Like, oh, please.
Yeah, every time Teddy Bridgewater get hit and he end up on the ground, I'd be like, damn, is he conscious? That's my first thought, because
please don't fall on that knee.
Because this dude was laying on the ground. He was laying on the ground with his eyes closed in a sleeping position. They had the cameras trained on this cat when he got knocked out. And then when he came back from that concussion, I think before the end of the season, he had another one. I mean, he got hit, just some basic. He was running. He was just running with the ball. And, he just kind of started to go down. And as he was going down, he got skimmed over the top by the defender, hitting him over his head.
Those
just
are pretty
barely
high.
though. But it's high velocity, but it barely just hit him over and he was out.
It don't take much.
Yeah.
Because if that guy's going, I mean, it's more about the speed he's going. It's going to snap your head back into that turf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do not envy those guys.
So
in that instance.
it was, but he had a solid game. He actually had a solid game. The 2 picks is what killed it. He got sacked 5 times, 2 interceptions. The sacks only come into to only really become a huge factor for a quarterback if it's like 3rd down. You can't convert because of it.
Right.
But the 5 sacks aren't going to really kill your game as a passer, but the 2 interceptions do. Skylar Thompson came out.
I think it's crazy.
Skylar Thompson came out and played too. So did Teddy went out again, huh?
No. Skylar Thompson started the game and he fucked his hand up or something.
Oh,
pretty early. I think.
People are all talking about that cat being the quarterback, and he 2 times I've seen his name on there. One, he threw a bunch of interceptions, and then this one, he was just out there for a little bit and got hurt. So, but like I said, if you can find me 2 other running backs in the NFL that had as many carries as Saquon Barkley, then I'd probably I'll tell you we're lying because there's really not. Even with this team, the Vikings, who do run the ball, Dalvin Cook only had 13 carries for 77 yards. Can you imagine if they gave him 20 carries? I mean, just 20. He'd have 100 plus every week, damn near. It's crazy how the run game is so ignored when it really is the key to success as a football team.
And now everybody wants to do like the smoke screen and
smoke screens, all these weird
RPO
gadget play. They're not even gadgets. These are fucking these are just like, what do they call it? They're just gimmicks. They're gimmick play.
Oh yeah.
Gimmicks that look nice, but essentially they're just runs. A bubble screen is a run play. It's not even like a pass. Because you're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage, and this guy has got 2 blockers in front of him, and it's a very wide pitch, basically.
Yeah. And it doesn't accomplish the same thing as the traditional running game where the linemen can fire off and impose their will on people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a substitute in that it gets you 3, 4, 5 free yards before you get hit. But the linemen are just kind of running towards the play at best. You're not really hitting people. And it exposes your quarterback so much to tip passes that become interceptions, to interceptions, because what you're asking the O-line to do a lot of times in bubble screens is the tackle to the side of the bubble screen. A lot of times you're asking him to cut that defensive end because you got to get his hands down. You got to have, because if he jumps up, he can intercept this or he can knock it down. Last week I think the Giants finished out Green Bay like that, like two tip passes in a row to end the game. If memory serves. So it's a tall ask, and generally speaking, not much reward. 3-5 yards. Somebody misses a tackle, maybe you can break a long one.
Yeah, it is not worth the potential amount of problems that can come to pass from it. But this is something that again, these coordinators make this game much more complicated than it has to be.
Everyone's got to be a genius now.
Everybody has to be an innovator. When football ain't changed for 100 years, it ain't changed. All right, next game up.
We just skipped the damn Thursday night game.
Tank Bowl.
Trash.
Tank Bowl 12-7. Garbage ass Commanders beat garbage ass Bears.
Do any of y'all want to hear about this game?
Nope. Nope.
I know Jeff Bezos pissed off like a motherfucker. Can't believe I paid all this money for these trash ass Thursday games.
You ain't had a team score over 20 points yet on the Thursday night game.
Yeah,
all field goals.
Sure. Yeah, it's hard to watch. I can't fucking lie.
Yeah, it's boring as hell. It's like, goddamn. Especially with the weekend games being so like action packed. What's going on with this Thursday game?
Yeah, somebody needs to figure that shit out. Who's making the schedules?
All right, San Fran loses to Atlanta. A little bit surprised to see this one, but not totally surprised. Atlanta has been showing that they have some talent now. Atlanta's been showing that they have some talent. They have they probably should have one more win, at least. Atlanta.
At least one more. And I think San Fran was really banged up on defense. Like
I believe that.
No Bosa. I think they were missing like 3 or 4 guys up front.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a couple, maybe a running back too. So it was basically just Debo out there by himself.
Which he's good for 14. But Falcons have actually, you see the culture building in Atlanta. I'm not going to front.
Oh, yeah.
This is a team that last year, I mean, come on, the last 2 years for Atlanta even, the last 2 years have been just so cruel to the franchise because they look like a team that actually had kind of bounced back from that Super Bowl from 28-3.
Oh,
and then they just continued to remix 28-3 week in and week out.
How many different ways can we do this?
And you're just like, wow, is this really how things are going to be for Atlanta from now on? I mean, they look like they look like a team that is a cut above for the entire first 3 quarters, and then they just systematically implode on themselves in the fourth. If this is what they're going to be, my God, this franchise is going to have a long time before fans can ever start feeling good about this shit again. But we're starting to see some real life from Atlanta, and I'm happy for that because they deserve it. They deserve it. They're tied for top of the division in NFC South.
It's been a long, hard road.
Yeah. I mean, hell, even looking at these stats, like Marcus Mariota, like, come on, man. This dude is this is the rejuvenation of Marcus Mariota. 13 for 14, 129, 9.2 a pass, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, QBR of 95, a damn near perfect passer rating of 144.6.
Wow.
Damn near perfect. And look, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have a terrible game other than his 2 interceptions. He's kind of got the Teddy Bridgewater effect going here.
Marcus Mariota is not old.
He's not. He's like barely 30, like almost 30. And and he really and his journey is an interesting one because he had his first 4 years in Tennessee, which was not a good fit for him schematically. They didn't play. I mean, they didn't have the personnel to play the kind of game that you need to play with a quarterback like him to be most successful. They didn't have a receiving core. They knelt heavily on the run game, but also they wanted to have a great play action game, which it's hard when you don't have great wide receivers. They had decent ones, a couple of decent ones, but those guys oft injured. So, he's really playing with an underachieving core of receivers. Then he goes to Las Vegas in a backup role, but he's still there's some packages that they had specifically for him.
Yeah,
where he would go into the game and run certain packages. And you started to see there was a little bit oh man, this guy's kind of he's making better decisions as a passer. He's being more crafty. And he had a couple of games that he started. He started a couple times in Las Vegas and looked solid. Looked all right. Looked good. And then so now they make that move. He goes to Atlanta. And everybody, including myself, is thinking this is a stopgap measure. He's not really the guy that they need or want. but he's the only thing that's available. and they signed this cat, and I'm telling you, he is paying dividends for Atlanta. This is probably his best game of the season statistically.
He's really capitalizing on this opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be like a comeback player of the year type situation.
Yeah, absolutely. He could be most improved comeback player of the year.
Although
Definitely.
That's generally for guys that were injured, but still.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Most improved, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
But I mean, geez, I mean, I'm actually happy about him becoming a more mature and more reliable and more valuable player than he's ever been in his career at this point, which is pretty awesome to see. I mean, as a player, man, you know how cold this shit is. Cats be in and out and done, and you never hear from them again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of cats could have easily given up.
And he kept doing his thing, so that's good. Next game up here.
Speaking
Seahawks.
Speaking of most improved player.
For real. And exactly. Another quarterback who really, I mean, if we being real.
And he was never as high as Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, he wasn't even as heralded as Marcus Mariota. And yet they still had these similar paths as a quarterback that, I mean, you don't really see this work out for guys like this. It doesn't really work out to where you become the starter in the face of the franchise for that moment moving forward, and you're performing and you're playing well, and you are actually being the kind of asset to the franchise that they hope to have gotten from their next drafted player. And that is Gino. What is Gino's last name? Gino. Why do I keep want to say Geno Atkins?
Well, shit.
Yeah, he was a baller too.
That's a whole other beast right there.
For real. Hey, I played against that cat like 3 or 4 times, bro. I was like, yo, this cat. I was like, yeah. When I thought about it, I said, yo, Geno Atkins, the best defensive tackle I've played against in my career.
Dude,
just from a full skill set. He's strong. He's fast. He's got that try hard motor, and that's what makes it hard.
Yeah, that's just
try hard motor.
It's just annoying as fuck.
I had to block this motherfucker from numbers to numbers, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, we're on the backside chasing him. We're on the backside.
Chill.
But
one of us is getting there.
For real. And then he got there, and I'm like,
yeah, right.
But Geno Smith, the quarterback, man, this grown man is balling. I mean, let's take a look at his stats here. Oh God, Kyler Murray, you're such a fucking bum.
Oh man, he's on like a Hainsworth alert at this point.
Wait. Geno Smith. I mean, he didn't throw no touchdowns or interceptions, but he does have a rushing. No, he didn't have a rushing touchdown neither. But how the fuck did they get these points?
Kenneth Walker, I think, the running back.
Kenneth Walker had a touchdown, 21 carries. Again, here you go. This is a guy who had over 20 carries. Kenneth Walker the third this week. 21 carries, 97 yards, 4.6 a carry. I mean, that is actually winning football. 1 touchdown with a long of 34 yards. I mean, you can't. That's the blueprint right there. Let's see here. Who had the most carries in the backfield out of Arizona? Arizona had Eno Benjamin,
I think, because James Conner is down. And I think
15 carries for him. Kyler Murray had 10 carries for 100 yards, 10 for each carry.
Shit.
The long of 42. But I mean, you would think that with that running stat, you would have complemented that with some passing yards that would have, or some touchdowns that would have given your team a good boost. But Kyler Murray goes 23 for 37, 222 yards, 6 yards average per pass, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 6 sacks. My guy got sacked 6 times.
Wow.
21 QBR, 67 quarterback passer rating. He is.
You only watched 3 hours of film this week.
Yeah, he only watched an hour and a half of film. Shoot. He said if it don't fit into a TV movie schedule, then he can't do it. But I mean, look, Arizona is just they're just an underachieving mess.
Is Cliff Kingsbury going to follow Matt Rule?
I mean, I feel like honestly, they should have got rid of that cat after last season, after that playoff game. I'd have been like, you know what? The writing's on the wall. He's not getting much better than this.
This isn't working
come
out.
on. He's collapsed at the end of every season he's been here.
Going back to college. Crazy.
And now we can't even get started because we don't
right.
We're 2-4 to start. Like, come on, get out of here. You're done.
It's like, no, I'm just trying the opposite. We're gonna start off like shit, and then we're gonna catch fire down the home stretch. But yeah, it's not looking too good for them right now.
Not looking good. Seattle pulls out. They get the 2-score win, and it's a lot of pain and suffering in Arizona right now. Super chat here from Aero Flambe $4.99. He says, "Hey guys, happy Monday." Uche sent an email to your email address plus an Insta DM and sent Justin the betting odds on Giselle's next boyfriend. All right. Well, shoot, we'll check that out. I mean, didn't they say she was already like on some dude's shit now, like already, or was it? I'm not sure. I might be mistaken in that, but we'll see. D-Hop is going to be coming back to Arizona, so he's supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be back with the team now this week.
Yeah, he should be back
or
now.
Maybe
in the facility.
He's back in the facility, but he plays next week. Not sure how that's supposed to go.
I'll be trying to get the fuck up out of there too. And they just picked up Robbie Anderson.
Oh yeah,
traded for Robbie Anderson because Hollywood Brown went.
Oh yeah. Robbie Anderson just got traded from Carolina to Arizona, so you're gonna have 2 D-Hops on the field at the same time, as far as their role playing, as far as what their role is, and then of course the hair. But Robbie Anderson, I mean, he is a breakout receiver who hadn't been getting targeted at all this season, and he's really the number one option for Carolina. Or he was the number one option for Carolina, and they refused to even target him this year. Much like Allen Robinson with LA, just wasn't getting targeted much at all. And speaking of that, LA beats the shit out of Carolina 24-10. I think we're all pretty much know that's how that was going to play out. Carolina's pretty bad,
and then he had a blow up with his position coach on the
sideline. Then he was going to beat up a coach, so that makes it hard too.
Steve Wilkes playing that shit.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, I don't give a fuck what Matt Rule did. I ain't gonna suffer no fools.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna make a fool out of me. Last game, the game of the night, game of the week, America, Sunday in America. You got Dallas at Philly. Philly makes a statement to Dallas fans that y'all ain't shit.
We'll catch them. We'll catch them at home with a real quarterback.
Yeah.
Catch me outside.
That's gonna be
How about that?
That'll be the only opportunity y'all get next to even like talk to them.
No, they could easily be. They could easily run out to like 12, 13-0. Their schedule is hot garbage.
Yeah, they got a pretty easy. I mean, they're about to play us soon. No, I'm sorry, not us. Who's on their schedule that's supposed to be strong? Let me see here.
I mean, ain't nobody soon. It's real thin for like the next month or 6 weeks or even.
Oh, Pittsburgh, Houston, Washington, Indianapolis, Green Bay. I mean, really? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they could win the next 5 with no problem. And that includes Green Bay. Then you got Tennessee. Yeah. They can win that Tennessee game. Shit, they may not have another tough game. And look, this is the NFL. Take this.
You can win it. Yeah, any given Sunday.
A grain of salt, because it don't mean shit what I'm about to say. Their next tough game might be against New York, and that is like 7 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So, you could be looking at a team that's like 11, 12, and 0 by the time
And
they get
that's
back, by the time they get threatened for a loss.
Right. That's going to have the morale, and that should, that affects your play as well. Team that has belief in themselves and good momentum.
When you have momentum
better
as a
than
franchise,
they look on paper.
Yeah. When you have that momentum as a team, when you have that just that belief that you are prepared and will beat anybody on any terms. I mean, once you have wins that reinforce that mentality, it's hard to break that mentality. That's why a lot of teams, that's why you see teams like, before even this last weekend, Alabama. That's why you see teams like Kansas City, where it doesn't feel like you've got them beat, even if you're up 3 scores. If there's more than a quarter left to play, you don't feel like you can beat you've beaten them because of how many times they've shown that they can come back from a 3-score deficit in less than 5 minutes of the game time.
And then the first little chip that they get, you're like, fuck, here it comes again.
You're like, here it comes. Oh, God. And you just feel that tidal wave of momentum.
Coaches' buttholes get that damn tight.
Oh, they'll split a penny in half. Their butts get so tight. But, that is where, that's where that air of confidence that actually propels teams to victory comes from. And that's what you're kind of starting to see with Philadelphia. I mean, but even in the case where they played against Dallas in this game. I mean, look, they ended up, pretty much controlling this game.
Yeah, it's close to finish. Not as close as the score indicates.
Yeah, it's not as close as the score makes you think it is. They were getting dusted
all
20
on us.
Yeah, they were already up, what, 17-0 at half or 20-3 at half?
23, I think. 20-3, I believe.
20-3 at half. That game, I mean, Dallas is not the team that's coming back from a 17-point deficit. They don't do that.
Yeah,
they can come back from maybe 10 points
playing with the lead.
Yeah, your backup quarterback's supposed to be playing with the lead. And look, this cat made some very bad passes. He threw 3 picks, and I'd say 2 of them were completely on him. One of them got tipped, bounced up in the air, and I mean, look, ain't nothing you can do about that. But
the one he was getting smashed, he
got smashed, so he didn't have great protection. And and the ball didn't have any velocity on it, even though it was a deep ball. And then on top of that,
Peyton Manning pass.
And then on top of that, I mean, look, man, your receiving core really ain't shit, bro. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb has not even. How many times has he had 100 yards receiving this season?
I'd be surprised if it was 1.
He hasn't been doing very good at all.
Yeah, drops a lot of balls. Really, our best receiver had been our tight end Schultz, but he got hurt a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think he even dressed out this week. I'm not sure. If he did, he didn't make much of an impact. It's been Noah Brown, who was on the scout team with Cooper Rush, so they had a little bit of rapport.
Mm-hmm.
And other than him, I don't even know another receiver. Our fucking draft pick hasn't even played yet this year. I think he's playing some special teams. We drafted a receiver in the 3rd round, and he's been playing on special teams.
Oh, well, then that means he's going to be cut by next year, because you can't be a 3rd-round pick and you're not actually in the rotation playing. That don't make no sense.
And we got cats that I'd never even heard of, out there playing. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with this kid. Does not look well.
So Philadelphia is still undefeated, 6-0. Cowboys were what, 4-1, and now they're 4-2. They were trying to They were trying to keep pace. Look, man, Dallas' defense, was shaky in the first half. They came and played. They played strong in the second half.
Well, Lane Johnson got hurt, and that completely changed, the look of the game. I mean, as soon as that shit happened, Micah Parsons went and lined up on that backup right tackle.
Yep, he's like, gotta go get him.
So that was,
So
obviously you jump out to a 20-point half, and then you only score 6 points the rest of the game.
Yeah. But it's, again, I think that Cooper Rush was kind of pushed to he was pushed to his limit this game, didn't hold up. That's what it boils down to.
Finally made the play, beyond himself.
Mm-hmm. And he did not. He was not capable.
You shouldn't be asking a guy to come out and put up, 30 or 28 basically.
I mean, you got to be telling your defense before this game starts. You got to be telling the defense, look, we need to keep these cats under 20.
Yeah.
Because that's our best chance of winning this game. If they get over 20, it's going to be hard. We got to keep them at 20. That way, we can we can tie it or win it with the field goal, or we can if we're in a short red zone situation that our quarterback can operate more comfortably, like to help get us to put a score up to win. If we got to come back, that's not going to happen because that means we got to change the game plan.
Right. Yeah, I don't want this guy taking a bunch of shots downfield and having to play differently.
And that's what they had to do.
In a situation where we can just manage and not try to be so aggressive. Mm-hmm. But allegedly Dak will be back against the Lions. We'll see. Because it's not like they were setting the world on fire when he was healthy.
Yep. So we'll see how this team looks with Dak Prescott back in the lineup. I would assume that from a talent standpoint, you think that Dak is going to do much better and there's going to be more he's going to be able to make more plays. But also, I think it's kind of beyond the quarterback position where the issue lies with the Cowboys right now. I think that they have a wide receiver problem. They don't have a game play. They don't have a playmaker at wide receiver yet at all. Like, they just don't. And everybody's asking, well, why the fuck did we trade Amari Cooper? Well, here you go.
Gotta ask
for these bombs. But that is going to be it for us. That's all the week 6 reactions that we have. We took you guys through our thoughts on how these games played out. We do appreciate y'all for being in here with us. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. If it's your first time on the live stream, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you can get notified each and every time we drop new content. It helps our channel when you hit that thumbs up. So please make sure you do that. If you want to become a member and support the channel, look into hitting that join button right under the screen, as that will then allow you to become a member of the channel. We'll start trying to look to update some things with our membership perks, so we can see about potentially putting some discounts on some of the stuff in the store. We got stuff at the store. Also at the bottom of the screen, if you're looking at it, we got some merchandise there, phone cases, stuff like that from Lineman Life. So check those out as well. But that is going to be it for us here on Lineman Life Live. We do appreciate you guys. We will see y'all on Wednesday with Urinating Tree and 5-Point Vids as we do our week 7 predictions. So look out for that. We'll also be doing a review of our fantasy football rankings. Shit just keeps getting bad for me because most of my guys
I thought I got one though, even without a quarterback.
Most of my guys are out, and they're not. And Patrick Mahomes didn't have the greatest game this week.
Yeah,
so.
I had Jamar Chase, so I was.
But we will catch you guys on Wednesday. Hope y'all have a wonderful night. Peace out.
Peace.